All right, let's talk credit cards. How many should you have? How should you use them? What do I use? And I want to shout out to Missy Dixon. Thank you for your question. Missy asked, what credit cards do I use, and is Capital One a good company? All right, before I talk about that, if you don't already know me, I am Larissa. I run a free group for women called Faith, Finance, Freedom, where we talk about all things money, how to get out of debt, and how to start making your money work for you instead of you working for your money. All right, so let's talk credit cards. Before we talk about that, I want to tell you about a website called the US Debt Clock. Here's where you can find information about the average amount of credit card debt that each American has, the average debt that is our liability as a citizen because America is in debt, and it shows the US national debt. I mean, there's so many numbers there. www.usdebtclock.org. And from that website, I see that credit card debt, there's such a huge number, honestly, I can't even read it, but the debt per holder is $8,386. The average debt per credit card holder. Now, I'm a credit card holder. I have zero debt. My husband is a credit card holder, has zero debt. My son, zero debt on his credit card. That's what we're going for. We don't want to pay those interest rates, which are over 22%. That's the average interest rate. Crazy. Somebody's getting rich, and it's not us if we're in debt to the credit card companies. So let's talk about credit card companies. They're going to win. They're always going to win. Even if you get rewards, even if, you get those points, the credit card companies are always going to win. However, if you travel, if you book airfare, if you ever book a hotel, you're going to need a credit card. So let's talk about what I have, why I use them. The average amount of credit cards that Americans have, it's about 4 per person. I have more than that. Not a good thing. We started out with 2. One for me, one for my husband. Here's what you do. Your spouse should have a credit card in his name, and you should have a credit card in your name. 2 separate accounts. Here's why. If one of your spouses dies, this happened to my uncle, my aunt passed away, and he could not use her credit cards. They had 2 credit cards. They were both in her name. He was an authorized user. He couldn't use the credit cards for the funeral expenses and to get food for the household after she passed away. The credit card company said, we don't care if you're an authorized user. The person who's the account holder is dead, so credit cards are not going to be used. He didn't know that. So he did open up a credit card in his name, but it was kind of a hassle. So protect yourself. Husband should have a credit card in his name, the wife in hers, and each of them can be authorized users. That's fine, but you don't want to be in that situation. Now, I started out when my husband and I got married. Each of us had a credit card in our own name, and we made the other person an authorized user. That's plenty. I started doing entrepreneurial stuff. I got a credit card, a business credit card, so that I could keep expenses separate. And honestly, that is what I recommend for myself. That's what I recommend for anybody. 3 credit cards are more than enough. Now, this is my opinion. As a person, I am not a fiduciary. I'm not a certified public accountant. I'm a mom. I'm a housewife. I'm an entrepreneur. I was in debt. I paid off $92,000 worth of debt in 1 year and became 100% debt-free, including my mortgage, by learning strategies. And when that happened, I had been trying to get out of debt for 17 years previously. But when that happened And I got those strategies. I wanted to share them with other people. So if you're a woman in debt, wanting to make more of your money, check out my free group. Lots of videos there. That's all you need. Back to credit cards. Here, we started adding credit cards. Not good. Not good. We started adding credit cards. One credit card, and this is actually not the credit card. It's just a placeholder because I threw the credit card away. It was Bass Pro Shops. Nothing wrong with Bass Pro Shops, but I don't need an extra credit card. My husband got a deal. He got suckered in. He was like, oh, wow, if you open up a credit card, you're going to get 10% off your whole order. So he fell for it. Next credit card, TJ Maxx. Last month, I fell for it. I had a big order. They said, hey, you want to get an extra 10 or 20% off your order? Open up a credit card. I did it. Mistake. I got the terms, and they were going to charge 33% interest on any balances I carry over. 33%. I canceled that sucker. Not good. All right, so have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 credit cards left. Not my ideal. I want 3. The next credit card that I may or may not cancel at some point is BJ's MasterCard. My husband got it because we have a BJ's membership. Now, if you don't know what BJ's is, it's like Costco or Sam's Club. It's close to us. We've been members there on and off for about 20 years. Never had the card, but they offer 10 cents off per gallon on gas. So my husband really wanted this card, but we don't drive down there often. It's a little out of the way. So my husband wants it. He's got it. The other credit card that I have is my business credit card, Chase Freedom. Nothing wrong with Chase Freedom, except they charge foreign transaction fees. And I've traveled internationally for business. I don't want foreign transaction fees. Sometimes I've purchased products or digital products or services overseas, and then I get stuck with a foreign transaction fee. I called Chase and I said, I don't want that fee. They said, nothing we can do about it. That's the terms of this card. So I asked them, do you have any cards that do not have the foreign transaction fee? I said, yeah, we have one. I also specified no annual fee. So this was the only one that fit. It's the United Gateway Mileage Plus. I don't care about the perks. I just don't want to pay the fees when I use the card. So these are my 2 business cards. I wish I had one. I could cancel this, but this is my oldest card. And if you're ever going to be dealing with credit and you want a high FICO score, you're not going to want to cancel your oldest card. That shows that you have a long credit history. So I'm kind of stuck keeping this card just to keep that credit history. Next card. This one's in my husband's name, all right? So my name, my husband's name. I like using this for online purchases because they give an extra perk, an extra percentage back for online purchases, and they're excellent with fraud control. They're really good. They lock it down. Actually, there's even a website I can't even use this credit card on. They are so good with that. If there's any fraud that they notice, they'll text me. And really, most of the credit cards are really good with fraud. Final credit card is my Capital One Quicksilver. I love this card. No annual fee, 1% back, no games to play. This particular card, they have rotating categories every quarter, every 3 months. The category now is they'll give 5% extra back on gas purchases, but they change it up. Sometimes it'll be grocery stores, sometimes it'll be movie theaters. I don't have time for those games. Here, just straight 1% back, no annual fee. I have a Capital One checking account, so every time I log in, I can see what I owe. I can pay for it right there. Super easy. So that's my credit cards. And just to recap, I canceled the Bass Pro Shop card, canceled the TJ Maxx card. I'd like to cancel this card, but my husband wants it. I'm not going to cancel the Bank of America card. It's in my husband's name. I'm the authorized user. If anything happens to me, my husband will have these two cards that he can use. Those are in his name. If anything happens to my husband, I will be able to use my Capital One card and one of my business cards. That's what I have. So, how are you doing with credit cards? How many do you have? Is there an annual fee? Do you know the percentage rate? If there's a balance and something happens to you and the card doesn't get paid, what's the percentage rate? What are the late fees? You want to know those things. So review your cards. Cancel the ones you don't need. I recommend keeping the one that you've had the longest. And I recommend having a card in your name and your spouse's name. And if you're an entrepreneur, a business card is helpful. So, hope that helps. And again, thank you, Missy, for the question. If you have more questions, more topics, please submit them, and I'll do a quick little review, quick little study. And if you're a woman who wants more from your money, wants tips, tricks, strategies to start getting out of debt, start earning more, keeping more, making your money work for you, ask me how you can get in my free group. Faith, Finance, Freedom. See you there.